Welcome to Three Dudes and a Lady. I'm Mike Jones from Alexandria, Virginia. My gratitude this morning is for health. In fact, tomorrow I am having a little celebration because I will be one day older than my father was when he passed away. So I have now outlived him. Already been married longer than he was.
That's awesome.
So join
Brad.
us for a little inspiration, a little motivation, and maybe a way to cope with your day in those open tabs.
Good morning. My name is Earl Rule. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm very grateful for what God has given me every day for opportunity, especially for my career. And I'm proud to be here to help and serve others.
Good morning. That's my introduction. As my dog barking. My name's Jay Anderson. I'm from Beckley, West Virginia, the beautiful, beautiful state of West Virginia. Uh, Also, my gratitude for the day is finally an ACC team beat an SEC team in the playoffs last night. So I'm ecstatic about that. Not that I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, but the fact that a different conference is making headway pleases me.
That's awesome. I am Christine Wright, hailing out of Brooksville, Florida. And my gratitude for the day is my family. I'm super grateful for them and all their support that they give me. And today we talked, or Jay talked about open tabs, how to stay focused in an ever-evolving world, right, of the World Wide Web. Have you ever been taken down a rabbit hole when you're reading something, then click a link, then read something else, then hop into the email because you remembered something about an email, then got an email, and then we're trying to respond to that email, quit responding to that email because you got something else? I mean, we've all been there before, right? Well, the problem is we're planning for the future while we're hashing a problem from the past and trying to do something in the present. Open tabs put you on a fast track of overload city. A list, Jay was talking about like having a list where it can help you become more in the present instead of having so many open tabs, like copying the link that you want to read that article for later, put it in a Google Docs or on a doc somewhere, but make sure you close that out, right? And then meditation, of course, can also help with that, but you got to give yourself a simple reminder that you are working on whatever you're working on at that moment. So protect yourself from the overwhelm. And he also asked, how many open tabs do we have? I don't even know if I want to share because I have 11. I have 11 open tabs. I have two screens and 11 open tabs altogether.
Was that all?
Yeah, that's all for right now. During the day, like as the day progresses, I have a lot more that open, but the morning just start. I mean, I just turn on my computer like 15 minutes before 8 o'clock. So, Jay, you're muted. We're still
Really, it
working.
was
We got
useless what
figured
I
it
was
out.
getting ready to say anyways, but here we go. I think you have to be cautious on this a little bit because some people keep tabs up as quote unquote a shortcut.
That's
Okay.
me.
But I think the exercise being expressed is if you close the tab, you're moving on to the next. I see Mike was smiling, so he counted how many tabs he has on his computer.
And how many do you have, Mike? Let's hear it.
I only counted one open Google session because I have always had two, and it was about 35.
35 in one tab.
And probably about the same in the other
Oh my
because
word.
the other one has
Here,
my
I thought
lead.
I was bad with 11.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my every
yeah.
time my computer guy looks at my computer, he just kind of like, yeah, yeah. I
Right?
gotta call. One day he said, I gotta call my friend and tell him about this.
I think when it gets to that many, you're better off closing them because you have to search for them anyways. So it's just as easy to type it and go. But uh, still yet, the
35 is a lot.
The goal is when you're closing the tab, your mindset becomes you're moving on to the next item, I think. I feel like that's what he was shooting for. And the list is such a great tool, an asset to us because let's face it, there are times within our day, and this is multiple times, that multitasking is necessary for whatever the reason. You get a phone call, you get another phone call, then you're trying to solve a problem, but then you receive another phone call. So we're constantly going back and forth. I know I know that I wish my self-awareness was stronger back when I was in the car business because multitasking was just what you did. It was expected of you to do it. And if it is that you didn't complete the task, you need to move on because the right now becomes the most important. No, no, wait a second. The right now becomes more important. Oh, hold on. No, the right now is the most important. And that's the way we live our lives.
It's called putting out fires.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. And it happens throughout our whole day, right? But think about it, like, do we feel accomplished when all we're doing is putting out fires all day long?
You don't realize it, but it is so exhausting that
It is.
it takes so much of your energy. You do not realize it when you're in it and you're doing it.
No. Because you're
Right.
going through the motions. You're just doing what you're supposed to do, right?
And every reaction requires emotion.
Strong point.
Yep. It's crazy you just said that because have you guys heard Jack Canfield's Chicken Soup for the guy that wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul?
Yeah.
Like he has
Yes.
E plus R equals outcome, which is your emotion, your response, or event, response, and then your outcome.
I have heard that. As a matter of fact, my mother read that, and I think my dad did too. And they suggested for me to read it, but I closed that tab.
His book, The Success Principles, is a really good one. I mean, I got to see Jack Canfield speak, so I'm very like I am a big, huge Jack Canfield proponent. Like I like him a lot. He's very, very good. One of the better ones I've because he did the whole thing with the arm, like if you think that you can't put your arm up as high as you think you can, and then all of a sudden you get this they say that you can put it up and then you put it up higher or that you look further back or whatever. Like it's just crazy what how our mind plays tricks on ourselves and how we can sell ourselves. Like for instance, the open tabs, like Mike, you have 35 of them open. Like you're selling yourselves on that. Right. Right. Thinking it's easier to go into that one tab and find it out of all those 35. I think I'm gonna count to see how many I have open by the end of the day. I don't think it'll be 35 though. I think you're gonna have me beat Mike.
Think part of it though is when I'm working leads, I I open this on each one. I've gotten better because I used to think, oh, I've got to know what their favorite vegetable is before they answer the phone.
Yes.
But I realized you can scroll down on the left-hand side of the CRM and it's right there. So I don't open as many of those anymore.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, because you don't need that open. I don't even know how I would be in a rabbit hole all day. I'd be trying to find like certain things all day long, I think, if I had that many open.
Yeah, the ones on the left are important, the ones on the right are important, the ones in the middle aren't.
Yeah.
You at least you have a system.
Yeah.
Oh, my Google Calendar is always open. My text message app is always open. Because of stupid Verizon selling out to AOL and vice versa, my AOL app is always open because I can no longer get my personal email on Outlook.
They can't make it easy, right?
Yeah. That's why I have over 1,000.
Earl, I'm done.
Do you
Go
have
ahead.
open? Sorry.
No, I'm not driving. I'm neutral. I just took care of my detail here. So like I'm multitasking right now. But what I wanted to say is sometimes our mind challenges us to do more tasking than we're actually capable of doing, and then we try to prioritize what's in front of us. And the one thing you mentioned about notes, taking notes, and putting everything on paper, that's actually something new that I just started because I've had to learn because sometimes I do forget through that today. I mean, I have to write down, certain calls like the Jason Mitchell call yesterday and reminding myself of things I have to do in the morning. And sometimes, things come up and we need to prioritize what's in front of us without getting overwhelmed with it.
Yeah. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. It's just prioritizing, right?
Right.
I mean, I guess not to a certain degree. It can be overwhelming if there's a lot going on in our world, right?
Hmm.
But if we do it on a consistent basis, like if we're doing it every day, it's probably not as bad as if we do it like once a week, right?
I'll give you an example. Last night, I'm in the process right now of writing business for a close friend, and she's got certain health conditions which kind of put some bullet points. I had to choose which carriers I was going to use, but also what she was using. I'm probably going to end up writing 3 apps because she's going to get an accidental policy, also critical illness for heart attack and stroke because her mother had a history of a heart attack and stroke. So that opened up her eyes, but also the mortgage protection. Right now, she's eligible for equity protection. I'll go with AMAM on that one for what I've seen so far. But putting everything in a process and at the same time answering a text of a lady, one of my new leads that came in, trying to get. She's a text freak. She won't come to the phone, but she'll text. That drives me up a wall. But I have to learn to pivot around that. So you're pivoting around that policy, trying to get her to come to the phone at the same time you're helping this one and trying to line for tomorrow's schedule. So it's not exactly 9 to 5. It's when the lights go out.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's not 9 to 5. It's when, because think about it, like throughout the day, like if somebody texts you back, like they're working, they get off at 5:30. They're not
Right.
texting you back until 6, especially if they can't have their phone at work. If they can't have their phone during business hours, they definitely have to do business after hours.
Well, you know
I am
what's
one
it
of the ones that you would have to text. Like I would be the texting person. I'd be like, give me the quotes over the text. I'll fill out the app over the quote or over the text. I don't need to
right.
talk to anybody. Like I'll do it all via text.
And this lady who's up in Massachusetts has been texting me. And the funny part is it's consistent when she's texting me. She'll text me at 8:20 at night, 3 times in
Yeah.
a row, the same time. And she tells me she works for the school district or she does something with the school system and she's looking to cover 225,000 loan on her mortgage on that. And she's like, what, 62, something like that. So I'm thinking to myself, she tells me she only takes 1 minute. So I'm trying to get more questions out of her. She goes, what more questions do you want? I said, can we talk about over the phone for about 10 minutes? No, I'm busy right now. I'm like at 8:20 at night and you work for the school system and you can't talk to me for 10 minutes on the phone. Really? I'm like, some
I would say
I,
that line too.
people are people. I'm telling you. So I'm still trying to pivot with her, but yeah, she wants me to call her back. I'm like,
You said something before we went off on this lady, so I'm going to paraphrase it just a little bit. Uh,
yes, Jay.
uh, you said something that caught my eye that made me think when you're multitasking, which we all do,
Yep.
if it is during the multitasking, whatever the event is in our mind at that point in time, if we can get as far as possible to put as much closure to it, what it does is it eases our mindset. And this is where a list comes in handy. Being able to check it off or writing, come back to finish, or whatever it is. It allows you to mentally move forwards. We all think we can mentally move forwards with no process in place. there are some people that can. I argue they're not as proficient as the people who actually have a process in place. And this is a big subject. And open tabs is a hurdle that I feel like most human beings struggle with. Because open tabs is just an analogy. Obviously, they're using the tabs to kill it, but are we able to make ourselves aware of our mindset that, okay, I'm jumping here, I'm jumping here, I'm jumping here. And then you don't feel like, how many times at the end of the day, you know, man, I was busy as hell, but I just don't think I accomplished shit.
Yeah, those are the days I think sometimes we need to reset ourselves because you can eat right, exactly. And some of us could crash and burn on it. Some of us could say, okay, I just need to hit the reset button. Let's get a good night's sleep. Let's pray over and wake up in the morning, restart our engines, and let's see what we can do to get back on the drawing board to fix the problems. I mean, you could talk to 100 new agents or people throughout our company, and you're probably going to get 10 different answers on how we deal with it. So I think it's best we need to find what works for us as individuals and stick to it. If we can find something, and sometimes we see something that somebody else is doing, they're like, hey, I can do that. If you can do it, put it to the test for a couple of tries, and if it works, stick to it. If it doesn't, all right, ask for help because sometimes we just need that extra lending helping hand to whatever it is that we're stuck on, or we don't want to burn ourselves out. We need to fix ourselves because let's face it, in our careers, sometimes the stress can be so overwhelming. The answer can be right in front of us and we don't see it. Boom.
That's the facts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll start out. Help.
I will say this though. Laugh at my open tabs as you will, but at least I know where they are. Have you ever moved something in your desk or picked up your laptop and there's a note or a list? Like, where the hell did this come from? What? And then if it's old, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Well, again, I think yes, but we have to
Yeah.
differentiate. Some people use it as a true shortcut, and that's a great thing. Mike, that's what you use it for because you know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, closing as fast as we can close a task that we've done.
Mhm.
Rephrase, I shouldn't say as fast as we can do it, as proficiently in a timely fashion that we can close something. It allows our mind to move forwards, or should allow our mind to move forwards. There are some of us that a rabbit hole is at every corner that we come to. Happens. Sometimes that's the way we're made. But if we can focus on, man, finally I saw the hand sanitizer. I thought you was getting ready to do a line of Coke or something.
Well, that's what
Anyway,
happens when you sneeze and the unexpected happens. That's why we try to prioritize ourselves. I always carry sanitizer with me. Thank you.
yeah. So, but I think it's important that we focus on the awareness of that because that in itself can help us. It's been said, we've heard this many times over. If you don't have a list or a process in place and you just take each day as it comes, you're wandering aimlessly because you have no direction. So I think if it is that we can give ourselves a process for direction, I think it will ease the mindset.
Jay, you just said something that I think was a mic drop. The word direction. Because we need to have a direction on how we pivot, through times what I just talked about. We need to have that direction, that path that helps us to get to where we get to light at the end of the tunnel, for lack of a better term. So I think the key thing is direction. And when you're opening up tabs, make sure you're following that direction and it makes sure everything aligns itself on your checkbox list so you can get on through your day.
Like Mike, you have like, yes, you have 35 tabs open, but you even said, well, these ones on the right are important. These ones you knew which ones were important and which ones aren't.
Right.
Like automatically, like if I have 35 tabs open, I can promise you I'm not gonna know which ones are important. So that method is not gonna work for me, but it works fine for Mike.
HQ and the CRM is always on the left.
Yep. So you know exactly where everything is.
You're using your tab line as a list, a source of a list. Okay. And that works a lot of times. To me, when I see open tabs, this is me personally, when I see a bunch of open tabs, I think of the word chaos. That's what I think. Okay. But that's only me. You're talking about a person that's very anal, that lists are important to me.
I
Okay.
lose list.
You lose lists. Yeah. But you don't lose your tabs if they're open,
Right.
do you?
Yeah, I do. I do make a list.
But he surely doesn't, he loses them.
We might have found out. So these are lists of leads that actually you get those emails saying so and so clicked on the
Yeah.
link, blah blah blah, and so I make a list of those to respond to. But even that, I found that's inefficient. Just turn the dial around, and you'll get to them eventually.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And here's an important feature, I think. Don't open so many tabs in your mind
Yeah,
that it's an overload. That there's only so much time within a day. Don't open 30 tabs in your mind. I'm not talking about your computer tabs.
yeah.
I'm talking don't overdo the impossible by saying, okay, look, I wrote down 15. And they do say if you do write a list in terms of that, prioritize what is the most important and then just start working your way down. Now, I personally use my Google Calendar to create a lot of my list because, like you said, Mike, I don't, if you came and looked at my desk, it's a mess. I've got so much paperwork from so many different businesses sitting on my desk that sometimes it is overwhelming. Those are my open tabs. So I have to be cautious on that.
And my tabs do not cause me any anxiety. If they do start to, especially when I look at them and I can't tell what they are, then I close them.
So you
Mm,
have a process.
Mm,
yeah, he closes down to 30 instead of 35.
Yeah.
You got it.
He leaves the 5 open that he actually really needs.
Uh,
But then it's
hey,
hard to find what he needs.
yes, that's right. Folks, I think it's easiest to see and listening to us. We are not licensed therapists, psychiatrists, or anything of that nature. We're just four people who are licensed life insurance agents that enjoy getting on the platform Calm to listen to Jay Shetty. He provides insight to help us deal with daily stress, uh, forward stress, backward stress, every which way stress can come. And self awareness is a big key of that. I think you will find that that's pretty much how we lace most of our conversations. Please join us on a daily basis to get a nice dose of it. Keep your tabs open, stay sharp, close your tabs, move on. Peace.
So